Hello, welcome to my channel on Android. Today I want to demonstrate you the concept of content provider. I will read the content from the using the content provider from the device, and then we will load it to the list view. So let's start demonstration of how to read the contact in Kotlin. Just select the empty activity and then next. Just provide the name of the application. I'm just providing the name of the application, that is a contact content provider demonstration, right? I just want to change the location where I want to store my this current application. Then you can click on the finish. Language is Kotlin. Once you select the language and set all the datas, uh, you just need to wait until and unless Android loads the project. Before starting an application with the contact content provider, let me explain what I want to do. In this application, I want to provide one search view on the top list and one more list view in the bottom of the search view. Whenever user press any character in search view, I want to display the context based on the search of the user in list view. So let's start with the application development. As you all know, reading the context from any device, that for that we need a permission. So definitely I will first write the code related to how to read for the permission. To take the permission, here you can check that if activity compact dot, you can check for the self permission. Is this permission is given by the uh, user or not? There are two parameters are there. One parameter is on which context you want, and another one is which permission you want from the user. So I'm just checking if activity compact dot check self permission. The first argument is context, and the second argument is which permission you want to check. So I'm just checking manifest dot. Now there are two basically manifest available. One is java.util.jar, another is android.jar. So just select this android.manifest, right? Manifest dot permission is the class. Manifest dot permission dot, there are so many permissions are there. Right now we are developing a program related to read the context, so I'm just passing read context. If this permission is not granted by the user, so what I will write, if not equal to package manager dot permission granted. What is the meaning of this line? I'm just checking for the permission. If user has not granted the permission for the read contact, then we need first a permission from the user. If user has already granted the permission, then no need to worry about the permission. So I will request to the user, please give me the permission to access the contact. So you can just write activity compact dot request permission. Here two arguments are there, in which context you want, and the second one is three parameters are there. One is the in which context, second one is the list of the permission, it is an array. So what are the permissions that you want from the user, and the third parameter is on which request code you want to write the function based on the on activity permission, that whatever you retrieved from the user. So second argument is array. So I'm just writing here, I want only one permission, that's why my size is array of 1, and I'm passing here code request code, that is 111. Here in array you can pass manifest dot permission dot read context. What is the meaning of this line? It will ask again to the user. If user has not given the permission, then it will ask again. If the permission is given, then it will not ask for the permission. Now what if the user grant the permission? If user grant the permission, then the you just need to do what you want to do. So I just want to read the context, so I'm just writing the function read contact. So I just created one function read contact. It means what if user grants the permission, then definitely uh, we will go for the read contact. If user don't grant the permission, then we will request again for the permission. For permission results, we need to override one more function, and that function name is on request permission result. This function In this function, we will check that if user has already granted the permission and the request code is the as that we had passed, if both are same, then also we will call the read contact function. So I'm just checking if package manager if request code that is passed by the user, if request code is equal 111, that I had already passed, right? So and grant result is the parameter that I am getting. If the if of 0 is equal to package manager dot permission granted, it means now I have option to read the contact. I can go for read contact. So if the permission is granted by the user, I'm just calling the function that is read contact. Now let me check it is working properly or not. But before going to read the contact, here in project, in there is one file that is manifest file. In manifest file, you just need to add the permission that is uses permission read contact. Once you set this permission that is read contact, once you check for the permission, you can check into your emulator up to this my code is perfect or not. Right now I just develop a code to how to check that permission is granted or not. If the permission is not granted, then request for the permission. If permission is granted, then read the contact. But read contact function, I had not written the single line, right? We will definitely write the code in read contact, but just now I am just checking it is working properly or not. See here. Now in allow contact content provider to access your contact, right now I'm just clicking on deny. Why? Because I don't want to give a permission. So whenever you execute again it will ask uh, until and unless you uh, allow the access to the permission. So code related to access the permission is over. Now it's a time to how to write the code to read the contact. Whenever you want to read the contact from the user, there is a one inbuilt class which provides data for inbuilt device contact, and that class name is contact contract. So what are the columns that you want? Just define one variable columns is equal to, I'm just declaring it as a instance variable. Why? Because if it is accessible in every function, then I can access it. List of string list of string, and I will convert it into two typed array. Why? Because I need an array of string. Here you can provide the arguments, you can provide the list of the columns that you want from the user. Contact contracts dot common data kind dot phone dot. Now what are the elements that you want from the user? Generally we require two things. One is the name, another one is the number. In contact, generally we need two things. One is the display name, another one is the number. But whenever you want to bind any array to simple cursor adapter, we need one more field, and that is id. So always add this column common data kind dot font dot underscore id if it is required or not, because without this column simple cursor adapter will not allow you to bind the data. Now once your columns are specified, now it's a time to read the contact. So I'm moving towards a read context functions. Variable result set is equal to, there is one function that is content, there is a one content resolver property is there. Earlier in Java, get content resolver was the function. Dot query is the function having so many arguments. Let me explain each argument. The first argument is the URI, from which URI you want to access your data. The second argument is what are the columns that you want to select. Columns already I declared in my instance variable. The third argument is what is the condition that you want to write. The fourth argument is value related to condition, and the fifth argument that is related to the sorting. Suppose if you want to add any cancellation signal, then also you can pass, but I will use the first overridden overloaded function of this query. I will provide the 5 argument. The first argument is contact contract dot common data kind dot phone dot content URI. This is the URI, right? The second argument is what are the columns that you want to select. The third argument that is related to, do you want to write any condition right now? Right now I don't want to provide any condition, so I'm just writing null over here. I don't this condition is used when you want to filter the context. Suppose if you know want that I want to display the contact whose name start with A, right? So in this case you can pass the condition here in query, right? But right now I don't want to filter, I want to read all the context, right? And the last argument is in which sequence you want to display. Last argument related to sorting. So sort by number or sort by name. Suppose if you want to sort by a name, then just pass common data contact contract dot common data kind dot phone dot display name. So what it will do, it will sort the data, it will sort the data based on the name. Now my result set is ready. Result set is ready. Now I need to bind this result set with my list view. Now how to bind it with the list view? It is very simple. So let me move to my, before I am moving to activity main, I want to first check it is working properly or not, right? So this is my emulator. Let me move to context. There are 4 contacts available in my contact this emulator. The 4 contacts are Devan Patel, Parag Shukla, Kapil Shukla, and Parth Swadas. There are 4 contacts are there. I'm just checking if result set dot move to next, then I just want to check toast dot make text in current context rs dot get string of 1. I want to just check that is I am able to retrieving the data or not. Once it is fine, then we will load the same data into, if it is fine, then we will load the data into list view. Let's just check. I'm executing the application. It will first ask me for the permission. Now see, allow contact content provider to access your contact. Yes, allow it. Once you click on allow, what it will do? It will calling. See, now 999999 is my record. I am able to access this. I am getting the first record, and in first record I am getting the number only. Suppose if you write here 0, let's see what it is doing. Whenever you are writing a 0, it will return the first value, and the first value is Devan Patel. It means I'm able to access my data. I don't want to display Devan Patel in a toast. I want to display the data in a list view. Now how to do the same? Very simple. Just show the layout decoration, remove this hello world. Here in palette, search for the search view and put the search view in the top. Once the search view is put on the top layer, make the infer constraint, provide the height, obviously height is wrap content. So search view is now in the center way. You can move it to the top layer. Once it is done, you can search again for list view. Just drag and drop the list view and bind it with the search view. Continue, and you can just let me define the name. Just click on the infer constraint. Just define the name of the list view, id list view 1. Now whenever user first of all, whenever user pass here any character, I want to filter the data over here in list view. But my first task is what? I want that all the context should be loaded into this list view. Now let's start with the coding. How to load the context in list view. Once your data is ready, my result set is ready, my columns are ready. Now I need to bind a one cursor adapter. So cursor adapter is the adapter is equal to simple cursor adapter is the class having 6 parameters. In which context you want, which layout you want to follow, what are the data, what are the columns you want to select, in which resource you want, and what is the flag that you want to follow. So just pass the first argument, that is this, it is the context. Then android dot r dot layout dot, right now I am just using the layout that is inbuilt layout, simple list item 2. My result set is already ready, it is available in rs. Now I need what are the columns that I want to display in my list view. So you can create one variable from is equal to list of, I want the 2 columns. Which are the columns? Generally we need a 2 columns. One is name, another one is number. You can move into the top. We already declare this 2 variable. Just to copy the same and pass it over here in list of string, just pass it over here, dot 2 typed array, it will convert your from array. Then I need variable 2 is equal to int array. In this we need a 2 arguments. The first argument is int array of, the first argument is inbuilt android dot r dot id dot text 1 and android dot r dot id dot text 2. Just to pass this 2 argument over here from 2 and set the flag as 0. Once you did all these things, we need to just do what? We need to bind this adapter to my list view. So list view 1 dot set adapter, or you can say adapter is equal to adapter. Once you perform all these things, we had already received the permission from the user. Once the permission is retrieved from the user, you can execute this application, and now see all 4 contacts, Devan Patel, Parag Shukla, Kapil Shukla and Parth Swadas, with the name and mobile number, it is loaded to my screen. But not only this, I want to search over here. What? Whenever user pass any character, for example, if I pass here Parth, I want to retrieve the detail of the Parth only. So what to do in this case? You just need a one search view query. So very simple, just write down search view dot set on query text listener object colon search view dot on query text listener. In on query text listener, search view dot on query text listener. whenever you write on query text listener uh, anonymously, this object class will tell you that implement the two functions. One is the on query text submit, another one is the on query text change. In this case, on query text submit, I will just pass false. Same I will pass here in on query text change, just written the false in both case. Now whenever user change the text in search view, for example I am passing here p, it means I am passing the p character. Whenever user passing the p character, that value will be available here in p0. So what I need to do, I just need to call my query again. So what I will do, I will call the query again. Rs is equal to, I will call the same query again, but with the little bit change. Instead of passing selection all value, means null value, null, whenever you pass the null, it will not filter any data. So I want to write the where condition over here, and in where condition what I will pass, what you want. So I need to pass it down the condition over here. So I will pass the condition here in dollar. You can write common data kind contract dot common data kind dot font dot. Now we want to search based on the name. So I'm just writing here dot display name like, dot display name like question mark. Why I am writing like query? Because if user pass dr, then I want the all the record which contains the dr, right? uh, I want all the records who are doctor. So like question mark, now you need to pass the values over here. This is the value that you want from the user. So what I am writing here, just pass array of size 1 and provide the value. Now see, this p0 is the value that is provided by the user. Suppose user pass path, right? So if I write here dollar $p0, it means the path string will be matched with my inbuilt data. But I don't need to write only this dollar $p0. So I will write it percentage sign in both side. Why? Because it will match the pattern. So whatever the contact is, if that contact is matched with this percentage, between this percentage, it means it will retrieve all the data. I change my rs, but I change my rs, but I doesn't change my adapter. So what will be the issue? It will not change the value until and unless if you set this rs to your adapter. So you just need to write adapter dot change cursor and then just pass your result set variable, that is your cursor variable. Now let's see, whenever user pass any value, I want to search the data based on the value. Let's see, suppose if I am passing here shu, see there are two guys who are Shukla, Dr. Parag Shukla and Kapil Shukla. Just remove the characters, and based on the characters you will retrieve all the data. For example, not only this, you can retrieve in between character also. For example, I am writing Rag, right? So it will definitely retrieve all the data who contains the Rag. It can be Parag, it can be Chirag, right? So all the Rag will be loaded. Suppose if you write here Patel, then all the data related to Patel will be loaded. If you remove this, definitely it will retrieve all the records. So you can write here any character. What I did nothing. In content resolver dot query, I passed name like question mark, and in question mark I passed the values, right? So this is the argument that is related to, if you press here control p, then it will show you what are the arguments available, right? This is the selection argument and this is the value argument. So it is the where condition and it is the value in provided into where condition, right? And this is the sorting, in which order you want to sort the data, right? So this is the way you can retrieve the data into list view using contact content provider. This is from my side. Thank you for listening me. Thank you all.